Ladies and gentlemen, Amazon is now saying they are considering adding a disclaimer to the anti Semitic film Irving shared online. Y'all got to watch the movie. It is not what these folks are saying at all. Like I said, they're in the movie, but it's very minimal in comparison to the rest of the movie, you know? And then I had some troll write this paragraph trying to tell me just because someone has tradition, that doesn't mean anything. Then that really knocks you out the box. And plus, the traditions these folks had predate y'all. Okay. They predate you. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And it's way more than that. That's why I said I might do a segment on breaking down the movie because it went into language, it went into writing, it went into a lot of things. So you can't come here and try to debunk everything by just harking on tradition. It went way deeper than that. So you wasted your time on that paragraph, buddy. And those folks have been in those traditions long before y'all showed up on the earth. So miss us all, okay? Like you coming over here to lecture somebody. So let's get into this. This, in my opinion, is completely silly. This movie has been out there for well over 4 years. And now all of a sudden, it needs a disclaimer. Boy, y'all really know how to play up the dramatics. That's for sure. So let's get into this, y'all. Brooklyn Nets and the ADL sent a letter to Amazon asking the company to address the deeply and anti Semitic documentary related to the book at the heart of the Brooklyn Nets guard Kyrie Irving's suspension. Again, watch the movie. It is not what these folks are describing, y'all. And I guess they're just going to continue down this path, making you think, you know what it is with the Holocaust denying and saying it wasn't 6 million Jews. That comes from white supremacists. And I think they just assume that in anything about Hebrew Israelites, that same white supremacist stuff is going to be in these documentaries. And we're really not interested in stuff like that. You know, that's really your thing. And the reason why we're not interested in getting into all of that is because we didn't take part in the Holocaust. I mean, if you're going to say that we did, maybe when the soldiers came in there to rescue you, some of them were black soldiers, but the Holocaust itself, we didn't take part in that at all. So I don't see why that would be even part of this movie. So let's get into this. So the letter was signed by the ADL chief executive Jonathan Greenblatt, but on behalf of the Nets as well, called on Amazon to take down or add explanatory context to the film and related book, saying that they were designated to inflame hatred. So, a group of people where it is prophesied, by the way, that they would wake up in the land of their captivity is hatred. Okay, I mean, if you are really a Torah believer, then you should have seen this coming. It said we would wake up in the land of our captivity. How are you waking up in the land of your captivity? And us waking up is not hatred. You can't make it hatred either. It's not hatred. And now that it was so they're blaming Kyrie for making this popular, but actually it's your fault for inflating it all over the media. You know, if y'all would have, like I said, handled this behind the scenes, but you're way too vain for that, will lead directly to the harm of Jews. Absolutely not. The movie was out 4 years ago and you weren't harmed. There is no way you're going to get harmed now. And again, what have we ever said historically and you were physically harmed over it? Please give us the example. Please give us the example of how you were physically harmed behind something that was said in the Black community. You were physically harmed and you were in danger. There is no such thing in history of any incident like that ever happening. So you repeating something over and over, you know how they got that belief if you keep repeating the same thing over and over, then it suddenly becomes true. But actually, it's still a lie at the end of the day. I mean, no such thing has happened. You haven't given one example after making a statement like that. And after a while, when we don't see these examples of our words causing harm to you, then it just looks like y'all just run to the media making up anything off the top of your head. That's what it appears like. So, a copy of the letter was obtained by the New York Times. Corey Shields, an Amazon spokesman, said the potential disclaimer would appear on the documentary main detail page, which viewers would see before buying or renting the film. Well, I won't see it because I got mine already. A similar note potentially would add to a page where customers would buy the book that the film is based on. I mean, look, it's about us. How many in our community are gonna care about a disclaimer? How many of us, I mean, seriously, y'all, how many of us that know who we are going to care about a disclaimer? I don't think anybody's gonna care. It's not gonna stop anybody from looking at it and from realizing that you're just kicking up a bunch of dirt. Because those remarks that were made in the media don't match what's in the film. And, that alone to me makes you lose credibility. You said y'all ran to the media and said a whole bunch of things that are not in this film at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, like I said, they're trying to put all of the blame on Kyrie, and really none of it is him. They have consistently kept this thing in the media every single day. If curiosity is piqued, you caused it from keeping it in everybody's face every day. All right. So a similar note potentially would be added to a page where customers would buy the book that the film is based on, which I'm just telling you, no one in our community is going to care about that. Nobody's going to care about that. More than a week ago, Mr. Irving tweeted a link to Amazon for the documentary Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. Okay, so what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You know, so this world is filled with people of different races, different backgrounds, different cultures. And to me, when you do something like this, you are saying without a shadow of the doubt, the Jews can only look one way and one way only. And there is nothing else to talk about. I'm just saying. So there's claims such as Jews control the media. That's not in the film. That's not in the film. I watched that thing from start to finish. See, this is stuff that comes from white supremacists that talks about them that they're now trying to incorporate over to us. I see what they're doing. It's as plain as day for me to see. Jews control the media and that millions of Jews did not die during the Holocaust. That's not in there. Jews control the media is not in the film. I watched that film. And millions of Jews did not die during the Holocaust is not in the film. That's not there. That's not there, y'all. And to me, it's silly to say these things when all a person got to do is view it. These things are not in the film, but they're still in the media saying this to everybody, y'all. It's not in the film at all. Neither one of those things that they keep saying. But you can see how they play on propaganda. They play heavily on propaganda. And, look, they played on propaganda when it comes down to us. They have for all these centuries keep a bunch of negativity out here in their mainstream news, which is the big reason why I stop watching their news. I won't watch their news because I see the head game and the manipulation and the things that they try to do when you watch mainstream news. Mainstream news to me is equivalent to witchcraft. They're trying to control your mind and your soul. And if you get sucked in long enough, they literally can. It's just why we run across so many people out here that believe anything that comes on mainstream news, and they won't go out and research or find out whether what they're saying is true or not at all. But the reason why I stopped watching them, number one, I hated all the negativity when it comes down to the so-called Black community that they keep perpetuating even to this very day. And it was all in print back during chattel slavery. So they went from print to TV with the same propaganda. And I don't like the lack of diversity in the news. And I don't like how everybody sounds the same no matter what channel you watch. And plus, after a while, it was boring to me watching mainstream news. I'm not shocked that their ratings have been in the toilet. Ladies and gentlemen, start looking at mainstream news YouTube channels. They get less views than some of us, and I'm not exaggerating. They really don't have good traction on social media at all. People are just not interested in watching them like that. But just look over at some of their stories. I have put out the same stories and got more views than the mainstream news channel. And it just that's a real reflection of how people are just not feeling them like that. They sound scripted. When they talk, they all sound the same. It just I think if they would let people be themselves and show their own personality, it would probably be a little more interesting. But they all sitting there with papers in their hand, looking at the camera and sounding exactly the same. But that's how you push propaganda on people and brainwash people into believing and manipulating things to be your way. And I don't like that kind of stuff. And I pretty much gravitate away from it. But unfortunately, there's still too many people that are sucked in by mainstream news. So, though he deleted the tweet, Irving was suspended by the Nets for declining to say he had no anti Semitic views. I don't know why he got to say that over sending out a link. I don't know why he's got, first of all, you're not even telling the truth about what's in the documentary. And then he has to answer questions over sending a damn link. All right, so he later apologized on Instagram and, I don't know. So the Nets and others said his apology didn't go far enough because, they want you begging and crying and shaking and lip quivering and all that stuff when you apologize. Apologize in a way that you never see them apologizing. That's how they want it done. So it was a 4-page letter that they had sent to Amazon, Jeff Bezos and the chief executive, Andy Jassy. So they just sent it to the higher ups and trying to, I guess after 4 years of being out there, get it pulled or get a disclaimer on something that don't even mention the things that they claim is in there. Go figure, y'all. So Amazon keeps half the purchase price or rental fees as passes on remaining half of the content provider, according to the website for filmmakers. So, y'all, you know, I guess now they're working on Amazon. I suppose soon they'll get around to Ronald Dalton. Um, and, at the end of the day, is this going to make us not know that we are the real Hebrews on earth? No, none of these measures are going to do that. We still know who we are, regardless to what things they attempt to do 4 years later to this film. And like I said, the views on it is going to go through the roof because they brought the attention to it. So, y'all, just let me know how you feel. Is this going to change how you feel with a disclaimer, or are you going to watch this anyway, regardless to what they put out there? I didn't see anything offensive in it. And many of you that have since seen it, since I did my review video, you're telling me the same thing that I said in my video. You didn't see nothing in there. It's definitely not, like I said, the Holocaust is their topic. If we didn't take part in it, why would that be such a big topic for us? It's just not one of those things that happen to us. We know that I don't know too many of our people that have denied it, but I've certainly heard white supremacists do that. I've heard them deny it. I'm just saying. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.